Hello, and welcome to the Fortean Slip British Invasion, episode 2. If I could fucking talk this morning, or afternoon, or whatever fucking time it is when you're listening to this program. This week, today, this time, this episode, we'll be talking about magic, mysticism, spirituality, and the length of my pecker. Richard?
What's up, Chris?
How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
We've been on a bit of a hiatus. Things, as always, life gets in the way when you do these things, and we don't get paid for it. We just kind of get together and hang out and shoot the shit. Chris. Oh, you do get paid?
I get paid in bad YouTube comments. I get
It's a whole different type of currency.
It's the only currency that matters.
Your status online. How many followers do I have, and how many of them fucking despise me?
That's the end goal. That's the commitment. That's my lifestyle.
Yeah. And I actually wanted to bring up, while we were talking the whole Magic game, and I don't mean the card game, but speaking of cards, the Lisa Frank Tarot deck. I sent you the link to that. Did you check that out?
I did, and it was very nice that they had it so you could print them out on that link and use them just from that website. Just get a bit of card and stick them to it.
Right.
That's awesome.
Did she do both the major and the minor arcana, or did you look?
It was just the major ones.
Yeah. Now, I'm not a fan of these because tarot cards in and of themselves they're a symbolic thing. And the symbolism that went into them is it's quite specific. So, I mean, they're cute to have, I guess. If you just want to have some cute little tarot cards to, showcase or have around. But
yes, the symbolism is lost when they're turned into rainbow-spewing unicorns riding saucy bananas.
Right, like there's kittens in a kitten in a shoe.
What the fuck was even going on the death card? I was like, is it riding a horse or what? What? Where's the guy with the scythe?
Right, I don't under the devil's a banana, like on vacation. I just
in a bikini.
I'll put the link to this underneath the video on YouTube. So if any of you want to check this thing out, it's the Lisa Frank Tarot deck. You can also look it up if you Google fucking Lisa Frank Tarot deck. I'm sure you will fucking find it. But I mean, I thought it was just an interesting thing, and it is very cool that they allowed for people to be able to download them and print them out so that they can have their own set. You could even go out and buy like the decent paper stock and have glossy cards.
It's probably the only way they could get anyone to use it is by giving them away for free.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, these are... I have a problem with the symbolism. So, yeah. But onward and upward, Richard.
Onward to the next topic.
The next topic du jour. When do we get Redfoot?
When do we get Redfoot? Yeah, I told him he's under your chair. Only stupid people can't see him.
No. When do we get Redfoot? Because you got him for that fucking jackass Bob on your other program. And Steve and I discussed this. We would like to talk to Redfoot. We don't want to go on a secret. We don't want to go on a secret mission for Redfoot and steal anything and then bring it to him. We just want to
I don't
talk to
think
him.
I don't think I can get him for you, considering during that interview I called him an idiot several times.
That's fucking hilarious.
We're
Burn,
talking about Bigfoot in England and chupacabras. I reserve the right to call you an idiot if you say that stuff.
burn those bridges, son.
Nuked it. Nuked the bridges.
Just fucking take every fucking path back out.
I can probably get you Magic Johnson if you want.
Oh God. Would I see? That's somebody I wouldn't want to talk to. I wouldn't want to argue with Matthew Johnson. Now Nick Redfern on the other hand, I think I could manage. Like, the only issue that I had ever had with Steve Culls, I think Steve Culls is a great guy, but he's got a interesting sense of humor that is lost on me, I guess, because my sense of humor is dark.
Dark.
So, but I mean, Matthew Johnson, I tend to argue I can't perform that interview and be objective because I'm way too biased. Like Matt had said to me once, he was like, "Dude, if you could just interview people and not open your fucking big fat mouth, then you might be able to get some decent shit, from people that you could interview." But like I told him, but yeah, when I'm trying to create this thing where I don't do that sort of thing, and I talk about shit, and I do bring things up, and I do have my opinion. It makes it hard, but at the same time, I get to do what I enjoy doing, rather than molding myself into a fucking thing of carbonite that doesn't quite fit.
Into pandering, you mean?
Well, I'm stuck in a mold,
Aye.
is what I mean.
Yeah.
With making a horrible Star Wars reference. I should be flogged and beaten.
Oh, is that where you were going with that?
Yeah,
I was
kind
like,
of.
what the hell is he talking about? I recognise the word carbonite, but I can't remember from.
Yeah.
I'm not big on Star Wars.
No, you're more of a Star Trek fan.
Oh, yeah. Star Trek's amazing.
I love Star Trek, too. See, I'm one of those people that can enjoy both. I don't have a favorite. So. But, so I want to talk about Magick a little bit. I mean, I don't want to go, like, too in depth about it, but I was curious, being that you're from I want to refer to you guys as, like, the mothership.
The mothership.
Over there. Like, we escaped from the mothership. This big, weird-looking island in the ocean that kind of hangs off of Europe. I do know where Europe is and England is.
I've had Americans say that Africa was England before. I was like, dude, just pay attention in geography.
Yeah. I think people get confused because England tried to go everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, but being that a lot of the mystical centers, I guess you could say, or people that came together early on did so over in Europe, you're closer to that. I kind of feel like you guys over there have more in the way of what's the word I'm looking for?
A connection to magic.
Not connection, but there's significant landmarks that point to mysticism. Yeah, you got like Stonehenge, you got those fucking rocks down, the Karnak stones down below you in, what is it, France? I mean, you got all kinds of weird shit going on over there that we don't necessarily... I mean, we got weird shit over here too, but I think you guys have a larger base of shit that is still around that people can look at. Like, I think if there's anything here, it was washed away by time. As you say, Richard, time destroys all.
That is your favourite saying.
Or what is it? Heals? Yeah.
Time heals all. That's Chris's favourite saying. If Chris is ever feeling low, message him and say that. He'll
Yeah.
appreciate it
I'll
so
fucking.
much.
I will. You will get a fuck off instantly. Yeah. No, not my favorite saying in the whole wide world. And I'm pretty sure the Golden Dawn. Most of the members of the Golden Dawn were from your neck of the woods. You have no fucking clue.
No.
No fucking clue. See, and this is why I, should have definitely discussed this with you before the show.
Yes. Yeah.
With this
Sending
one,
me one link that we talk about for 5 minutes and then going off on a tangent about other stuff. Sorry.
well, I know your take on. Well, I know your take on like Ouija boards and shit like that because we had done that episode a little while ago, and that you think it's all just a bunch of bullshit.
Most
when
of
it
it is bullshit,
when
yeah.
it comes to Ouija boards, and I tend to agree. I don't know if there's anything really there. If so, it's more of an introspective thing than it is anything else that you might be able to glean from that. And I think if you were going to use it in that fashion, it wouldn't be wise to use it with other people, just with yourself, because why would you want other people in your introspective shit?
Exactly.
And by that I mean using it as a tool to glean insight into your own bullshit or your own problems, or how to solve shit or how to overcome shit. I think that it could be used in that fashion, but other than that, so.
Yep.
But I was curious about your take on the whole like witchcraft, Wicca, Druidism, ritual magic. Yeah.
I think it's a groovy concept. When I used to play Warcraft, I was always a druid. I play a druid in Dungeons and Dragons. I like the concept of druids. Do I think it has any real value to us anymore? No. I think that as a species, we kept the stuff that worked, and we kept doing it. And other stuff like magic and hypnotism and all that is relegated to circus sideshows for good reason. Do I think that stuff happens that I can't explain? Hell yeah. Like sometimes I can read Phil's mind sometimes when we're talking. We'll type exactly the same thing. Am I even talking?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It just went really quiet.
Did you get really lost there for a minute? I sit back from the mic and I'm listening to you, and you're like, "Oh my god, I'm all by myself."
Yeah, no, I thought I'd drop the call, but yeah, sometimes me and Phil, when we're talking, we'll write exactly the same thing, like almost word for word. Is that coincidence? Are we just very similar people, or are we doing some kind of telepathy? And twins, there's a famous example. Twin people are capable of sort of limited telepathy, and there's all sorts of. Sorry.
No, I wasn't going to say anything, but twins do have a definite connection in some way, and the coincidences that happen with twins over long distances, and even twins that don't even know each other, that get separated. The coincidences are staggering. So I don't know. I do know that the only real psychic ability that can be measured is that we can tell when people are looking at us, and that is measurable. But I think, I think that's left over from our reptilian fucking brains that are still processing all this information around us that points to that.
I think it's more recent. I think that comes from the cavemen that didn't know something that was looking at them got eaten.
Right. But but when it comes to these practices, like I said, like witchcraft, Wicca, so on and so forth, I fell into it when I was a teenager because I hated the dogma of Christianity. I found it to be just fucking completely obtuse and fucked up, and just why? Like, why does it have to be this way? And like, I liked the whole Jesus thing. Like, I dug Jesus. I thought he was cool. Like, but I didn't understand why people took what he said and made it something else. Like, one of the things that's in the Bible that really irks me with Christians is, like, Jesus says to him, like, you say that I'm the son of God, but you're all the sons and daughters of God. Like, he tells him that. He's like, you're just fucking like me. You just don't know it. And I just found that to be kind of enlightening in a sense when I was a teen. I can't remember exactly how old I was, but and my father brought home a deck of tarot cards. He actually went to your island there, Richard. A couple of times he's been over there. And he brought back a deck of tarot cards from there. It was a Rider-Waite deck. And I had, started playing around with those for a little while. And then I kind of got into some other shit, and I bought some books. And when you start buying books, like, there is so much bullshit that is out there that you can buy on magic and on how to perform magic and rituals. And but one thing, you find over time anyway is that it's more of an art form than it is anything else. It's more of a personal art form. It's very much like prayer. In prayer, you sit down, you freaking, whatever, you bow, you do whatever you fucking do, and you talk to God, or whatever deity, you subscribe to. How many do they got in India? Like,
a lot.
Yeah, hundreds. So I liken it to that, and it is very much an art form. Although I fell into more of the ritual magic side or aspect of things because I liked the structure. I always understood math extremely well when I was younger, and still I like things to be a balanced equation. So it just made sense to me that you have this thing to do, and you have this thing to do, and you have to do it on this side, and on this side, and that side, and that side. Everything had to be balanced, so to speak.
Right.
But that's where I fell into. But over time, and as with anybody who gets into that shit, you're always like in the beginning, I'm gonna be able to do all this crazy shit. And then you grow.
I summon forth the demons of darkness
Right.
to do my bidding.
Not quite like that, but then you grow up, and you realize what the system is designed for. And it's more of a self-learning tool. And like I said, one of those introspective things. Now, if understanding yourself and being able to overcome your own demons and bullshit is a magical thing, and I do believe that it is, to be able to overcome those things by, sheer will and thought, just understanding of yourself, like enlightenment, then yeah, it is. And I do believe it is. And I believe it was Crowley that said, that
Come on.
you don't try to change the flow of the river, but you try to understand where the river is going so that you can put yourself in a better position somewhere down the line. And I'm pretty sure I lost Richard again. Richard's internet has been on the fritz. So he's probably losing his mind, going, what the fuck right now? But I always liked that statement that he had made, and I'm pretty sure that's who it was Crowley that made that statement. And he made a bunch of wacky fucking statements too. Wrote a lot of fucking crazy books. Although, like I said, as with books, there's a lot of crazy shit out there, but there's a lot of stuff that you can glean from stuff or find in things that can ring true. One of my favorite books, which I was introduced to years ago, is Richard Bach's Illusions. And any time I meet anyone that means anything to me, I hand them a fucking copy of that book. Or I try to get them a copy of that book. Because it is just a poignant look at life. And what what this all is and why we should even fucking bother. But so I mean, as far as where I'm at now with it, I don't believe that there's any like mystical, magical cure-alls or potions or spells that make things happen. I think that you can make yourself a better person or attract those energies by being where you need to be or how you need to be, and understanding and recognizing those things. I got you back.
Yeah, Jesus, that was annoying.
But I was just stating, that I don't so much subscribe to the magical, mystical, I can fucking make potions and cast spells that force things to happen sort of thing, as more of a I can change myself to make those things easier.
Well, it's just like the beginnings of everything, wasn't it? Alchemy became chemistry, which became medicine.
Right.
Rituals became religion, which should have gone away by now, but for some reason we're holding on to it.
Well, I think that spirituality needs to be very much individual. Like we need to take spirituality and make it more of a personal thing, because your connection with whatever you want to call it, that figure that's the figurehead of your belief structure, that needs to be more internalized and more personalized than projected. There's nothing that irritates me more, nothing, than someone who has to shove their fucking religion down my throat. It's like, stop, just fucking stop. Like if I
don't care.
If I hear like, if it was a fucking Muslim and I heard fucking, Muhammad or whatever, if it was a fucking a Christian and I heard Jesus fucking 10 times in 15 minutes, listen, it just, especially if that person doesn't subscribe to what you believe in. Like that's one thing that irritates me a lot, is when someone knows that I don't subscribe to it, and yet they sit there and they talk to me about, all of it, all the time, because they feel like they have to convert you. And
why does the drunk try to logic his way past the bouncer?
Yeah, good point. So I think belief structures like this need to be more individualized. They need to be, more subjective and not objective. Like they need to focus individually, and people don't. I mean, hey, if people do want to get together and talk about their spirituality, I'm all for that. If there's a setting that you want to do that in, but yeah, I don't subscribe to the spread the fucking faith, spread it like a disease.
Organized religion needs to be stopped, like for real. It just causes way more problems than it solves.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm not going to that extreme. I know you are, but I'm not. I do have a problem with like what happened in the Catholic Church and how they covered up all the fucking pedophilia. That I have a huge fucking problem with, and I think that should have
that, and there's Buddhists are rioting now, and of course ISIS are blowing shit up everywhere.
Right. And it just, I don't know. It's a thin line you fucking walk with that shit, man. Like, because people want the right to be able to do that, you know, to have their religions and have their organizations that are religiously based. They want that. So it's a very, very thin line when you start taking away what people consider their rights in that aspect. But I
I'll tell you what,
go ahead.
you tell all religions that they can carry on practicing, but they're not allowed their tax benefits anymore, and you see how many carry on. That'll be the real one.
Yeah, I do have a problem with the tax benefit stuff, and when I did the show on the Church of Scientology, and I saw that documentary Going Clear. Holy shit! You want to talk about a big slap in the face as to how something can just be made from nothing, just from nothing, become
Just from one man's desire not to pay taxes.
yeah. Like, kudos to him, really. He never got to enjoy it, but he came up with a great idea. A way to rook the fucking system, but don't act like it's a fucking religion. I mean, come on, man. Give me a break. So, I don't know. And for the record, I found, like, L. Ron Hubbard is, like, a horrible fucking writer, but I'm wicked about collecting science fiction and fantasy. And there is I can't remember if it's called Mission Earth or Invasion Earth. It's a 10-part book series. And I was recently away on vacation, and I found every single book except for the first one, and now I want to go back there and buy them all.
Really? It's that good?
No, it's not good. It's actually horrible, but I like to collect those things. I'm huge into collecting science fiction and fantasy literature. So I don't care what it is, I'll grab it if I don't have it.
I got that way about Breaking Bad.
You collect episodes of Breaking Bad?
No, I watched the first few series and I was like, well, I've watched all that, I might as well finish it now. It's about finishing stuff, you know.
Oh. See, it's never ending for me though, man. There's an end to Breaking Bad. Like, there's a never ending supply of fantasy and science fiction books. And that's true. And I can always find different editions, Richard.
What, hardback and softback?
Oh, everything.
Kindle.
Hardcover, softcover. No, I don't buy. Right. I don't buy digital copies. I do not do digital copies. I need a fucking.
You have multiple copies of the same book.
Absolutely.
Why?
Because I like the different covers.
Okay.
Hey, I'm not saying it's a rational thing that I do, Richard. I'm not sitting here going,
that's
yeah.
Obsessive compulsive. You might want to get checked for.
I might want to get checked because I like to have a fucking book collection. Like,
I'm just saying,
there are tons of people that could be fucking committed if that's the case.
That's not what I said at all. I was just saying, you know, you might want to watch that behaviour because, you know, you start by collecting books and then you can't leave a room without turning a light switch off and off 100 times.
No, I don't do that type of shit. I do have an issue with odd numbers in my volumes. Like, I have to have an even number.
You've mentioned this before.
Right. That's one of my compulsions that I have. But, you know, I found that book series and I was like, ooh. And
wait, you like sci-fi and fantasy?
Absolutely.
Have you read the Discworld series?
No, by was that Terry Pratchett?
Pratchett, Sir Terry Pratchett.
Yeah, no, I've never checked that out. I have a lot of shit on my list of books to read. Like, right now, I'm going through and rereading because I had read a bunch of the Dragon Riders of Perrin series. And
good books.
Yeah, in retrospect, the first ones she didn't write that well. they're good, but they're not as good as I remember them. Because I look at the writing style now, but there's everything in that first fucking novel. Like, there's time travel. There's fucking spoiler alert. There's dragons. There's genetic manipulation. If you like read into it, like, I think in the foreword or the prologue to the actual story, they talk about how that planet came to be. But there's like this invading, I don't know if you'd call it an alien. I guess it kind of is an alien thing. It's not a race or anything, but and then they've got fucking psychic shit going on, and this telepathy between the fucking riders and the dragons, and there's everything in that book. It's a fucking wow. It's just a feast of fucking goodness. How can you go wrong?
Does it have an awkward feeling female character that's trying to find the right man for her?
No, it doesn't.
No, doesn't have everything then.
Oh, well, go fuck yourself. This has been the Fortean Slip British Invasion, episode 2. We're off to see... No, I don't want to say we're off to see the wizard. The wizard's a sham.
The Wizard of Oz is a cunt.
If you like this shit, hit the thumbs up button. If you don't, hit the little thumbs down button. Leave a comment. Share this shit around, people. If you like this show, or you like any of the shit that we do, or I do, or that's on this channel, share it the fuck around. Go check out Richard's blog, The Ramblings of a Schizophrenic Brit. He doesn't spell it correctly, so the link will be underneath the video. Check out Dred Funn at dredfunn.com and at youtube.com/Dred Funn. And check out bigfootcrossroads.com. I'm pretty sure Steve has a bunch of shit. Go look for it.